Hello and welcome to another video brought to you from UFOs and conspiracyinfo.com. Do come and check my blog on this topic that I'm talking about tonight. The link's in the description below. Okay, so I'm talking about something I stumbled upon earlier today in one of NASA's articles. And NASA are appealing to you, the public, and to me. I'm the public too. Okay, for your ideas on how we might go about colonizing Mars. And I found this really interesting because, well, for one thing, there's a prize. They got like $15,000 as prize pool money, of which they're going to like sort of give away like up to 3 prizes of $5,000. So there's a chance for you to win some money. If you've got some ideas, go ahead and go to their website and enter their competition. Okay, so they want your ideas. How can we go about successfully colonizing Mars? You know, breathable air, how we can get there, land safely, live safely, etc., etc. Okay. Now, it got me thinking, and you know what it made me think of is, okay, so they're talking about colonizing Mars in the mid 2030s. Okay, so they're saying that. So I read a few articles on it, so just kind of paraphrasing everything I read, but I'll put a couple of links below so you can see for yourself. Okay, but what they're saying is that they're particularly hitting today's children, because it's going to be today's children that will be adults at the time when they're ready for the mission to go there. It's not going to be the adults because they'll be too old. Okay, and they reckon there'll be plenty of children willing to go. Now, the thing is, right, the Mars One mission, let's talk about them for a second. Mars One mission is a private company that is funded by private companies, and they're planning, and they don't like this, but they're planning on making it like, I think it makes a mockery of it, right? They're planning on making it into a TV program like Big Brother. So it's going to be like entertainment, which really I don't get. Well, I kind of get it because it's going to obviously create revenue to fund it as well, you know, because the investors are going to want some return on their investment, no doubt. Okay, but anyway, so that's what they're going to do. But they are planning to go in 2020. Okay, so that's 10 years before NASA. So it got me thinking, you know, does it remind you of the space race? You know when Russia and America were competing and racing to get to the moon first. Who's going to get to the moon first? And then America did it. Whether they filmed it in the Nevada desert or whether they were actually there, I don't know. That's another topic. But America won. You know, they got to the moon first. And now all of a sudden you've got NASA who are planning to go to Mars. Okay, but now they're like really under pressure, probably sweating under the collar, thinking, "Oh my goodness, we've really got to get to Mars, because if we don't get to Mars, private companies are going to get to Mars, and that's got to make them feel a little bit awkward." I mean, just imagine if you're a car mechanic and you can't fix your car, and someone else comes along and fixes your car, you know, who maybe hasn't been a mechanic as long as you. They don't have the skills you have, the credentials you have, haven't been through the training you have, and someone comes along and fixes your car. It's a little awkward, you know, because you should have been the one to fix it. I don't know if that's the right kind of analogy, but I'm using it anyway. So I imagine, I mean, NASA, they've been around for decades. Space exploration is what they do. Space is their thing. They go to space. They've been to the moon, maybe. You know, they're talking about going to Mars, and now they're going to be outdone, possibly, by someone else. So I was wondering, well, what do NASA think about the Mars One mission? And I think they don't like it. You know, I've read a few things, few little articles, and my impression overall is that they don't like the idea. They're poo-pooing it, saying it's irresponsible, it's dangerous, yada yada. I was looking at one newspaper here, an ex-astronaut for NASA. He says, and I quote, I'll put the link below. He says, "Mars One mission is a half-baked idea that could ruin our Red Planet bid." Okay, so I don't think they're going to get the support from NASA. But I think at the same time they're thinking, oh my goodness, we've got to get there. So I think with all the pressure and competition, we're definitely going to Mars. You know, it's just whether it will all end up in tears or not. Number one, and second, who's going to get there first? It's history repeating itself. But what are your thoughts? You know, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to go to Mars? Do you think that it's safe to go to Mars? Do you think, well, as I state on my blog, do you think we've been there already? Do you think this is like a psyop, some kind of a mind game, a mass sort of psychological operation on the masses to achieve something or distract us, or what do you think? See your thoughts, and if you got some really great ideas, have yourself the opportunity to win $5,000. Thank you.